A bonton. Hot chili mama. She like a baked hot potato man. Hot chili mama. Wherever you go, honey, I wanna go. Hot chili mama. I take you to the Zydeco dance. Hot chili mama. I'm just looking for a little romance. Hot chili mama. Hot chili mama. She's a hot chili mama. She's a hot chili mama. Hot chili mama, hot chili mama, hot chili mama. Yeah, 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 yeah. She's a hot one, just a hot chili mama, just a hot chili mama. Yeah, hot chili mama, yeah, hot chili mama. She's a hot one, baby. She's a hot chili mama. She a bonton. She a hot one.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome into Crawfish for CASA. We've got a fun night ahead. I'm Brady Taylor.
And I'm Lauren Westbrook. We are thrilled to be here. Crawfish for CASA has been going on for 6 years. Brady, you've been a part of it, enjoyed every moment of it.
Oh, man, a great event, always a great time. Now, this year, a little different. We're coming to you virtually, but we're still going to have an amazing night tonight. We're looking to raise $50,000 by the end of tonight and into Sunday as the silent auction continues to help out CASA of McLennan County, a great organization that you're going to learn more about as we go through tonight. And we've got the brains of the operation here with us, and we're going to introduce them and let you know more about this organization.
Yeah, we know we can do it. $50,000, so keep watching. Tell other people to join you to watch this evening. We know the executive director of CASA would certainly appreciate that, Anna Futrell. Been with McLennan County's CASA since May of 2017, graduated from Baylor. She's originally from Fredericksburg, and a passion for children, for foster care, as she's been a foster parent and is now an adoptive parent to 3 siblings, ages 6, 7, and 8. And you said the leftover crawfish kind of freaked out your kids when you brought them home.
Yes. In past years, when we brought some leftover crawfish home, they did not want anything to do with them.
So speaking of not knowing how to do anything with crawfish, we got Lucas Land here. I went through his whole bio, and it says he's never eaten crawfish. Now, Lauren, being the adopted Cajun who used to work in Louisiana, she's going to teach you later how to do that.
That's
so
right.
we'll get you trained. So Lucas is the director of communication development here at CASA. You came here from Bolivia, is that right?
That's right. We were working overseas in development work for a couple of years in Bolivia, but Waco is home, and so I was happy to land back in Waco and be working with CASA. It's a great organization to be with. That's
awesome. So went to Baylor, and you're bilingual, right?
Yep, that's right. Hopefully I'll get to practice a little bit of my Spanish later on tonight.
And the crazy fact out of all this is that both of you are from Fredericksburg, but never knew each other before this.
That's correct. Different ages, different schools, and so figured that out when he came on our team.
That's awesome. So so these are the brains of the operation. We're going to visit with them and introduce you to some really cool people as we go throughout the night tonight. And this is going to be a fun night. So we've got a drawing going on tonight that you've got the opportunity to win a really cool iPad. So everyone who donates through midnight tonight, April the 16th, has a chance to win an iPad as making a donation. Again, we're trying to get to that goal of $50,000.
And to encourage you to donate, we are going to have some special messages all night long from people in our community, some familiar faces that have sent in some messages ahead of time, and some who are going to join us right here on the show. A fantastic online auction will be going on, and you can head to the CASA website for more information, for links to bid.
Yeah, CASAforeverychild.org. It's got all the information, and the silent auction goes through tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon, so you've still got time to make your donations, help out this great cause. And again, you're going to learn about CASA, the kids that they support, the numbers of kids that need help still, and you're helping out this great organization by helping out this event, and again, and raising awareness about CASA.
That's a really cool thing about this being virtual this year, is how easily shareable this is and how you can spread the word to your friends outside of McLennan County and really get the word out to help us meet that goal.
Yeah, and we're going to kick off tonight by presenting our title sponsor, TFNB, your bank for life. They have been a great advocate for CASA ever since we've started these Crawfish for CASA events, and they are a great member of the community as well. Interesting fact, they're the oldest continually operated bank in Central Texas. I didn't learn that till this. So, but they are a great organization. And again, every year I've ever been involved with CASA, TFNB, your bank for life, has been right there being that title sponsor and a great advocate for this community.
Another fun fact, they were chartered as FNB McGregor 132 years ago. Yeah, pretty amazing. They have 5 locations, including the first bank located in East Waco in over 100 years.
Yeah, that's really awesome. They got that beautiful mural that's going up out there. That's great as well. So David Littlewood, the CEO of TFNB, Your Bank for Life, is here. He has been serving for over 20 years and been a great advocate, again, helping our community and again, helping us here at CASA as well. And CASA was one of the first recipients of their Charity Champions program, a great thing that they've been doing throughout the last couple of years and really highlighting area groups across Central Texas. And again, CASA, one of those.
Yes, so one of the first recipients of that Charity Champion program. So we know they're excited about this evening, excited to be here, and we're glad they're the first people we're introducing.
So let's welcome David Littlewood. He's got a check presentation with Anna as well.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and we love CASA. We are very supportive of a lot of nonprofits, but as Brady alluded, this was one of the very first that was named a charity champion. And as we promise, once a charity champion, always a charity champion. So it's our pleasure to be the title sponsor this year. CASA is really special to me. I served on the board. My wife served as a volunteer for many years. And the organization itself does so much to help the kids, the children in our community that are some of the most vulnerable. So the work is really, really good work. It's very important. And I just want to reiterate what Brady said when we began this, and that is that this is a little bit of a different experience. It's virtual, and it will hopefully be a unique experience that we only have one time. We'll go back to live next year. Can't wait. But please be sure to donate generously so that they exceed the goal, because the need is there as much or more than ever before. So it's with pleasure that I present this check, and it's our honor to serve as title sponsor for CASA this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, David.
It's a pleasure.
We appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
And again, a huge thanks to TFNB, your bank for life, for presenting this Crawfish for CASA event. Now, we say CASA. Now, Lucas, what does CASA stand for?
CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates, and we have a great video to share with you from Texas CASA explaining a little bit about what CASA is and what we do.
Every child is born with a chance to dream, to learn, to play, and a chance to feel safe. But what happens when those chances disappear? For children placed in foster care, the chaos of being removed from home and placed in a new environment with new people, court dates, social worker visits, and new schools can be traumatic and hinder a child's desire to learn, play, and even dream. How can we give these kids the help they need? How can we give them all the chances they deserve? For that, we need CASA volunteers. What is a CASA? A CASA is a court-appointed special advocate. They help kids in foster care know there's someone by their side, committed to looking out for them. A CASA is not a superhero or a legal expert. CASAs come from different backgrounds, neighborhoods, and communities, just like the kids they help. To be a CASA, you don't need any professional training in social work or the legal system. All you need is the will to help. If you decide to become a CASA volunteer, you'll be trained to work with children in foster care, navigate the legal system, and speak in court. Once you've gone through training, you're appointed by a judge to help with a child's case. As a CASA, your job is to get to know the child as well as the parents and family, foster family, and everyone else involved. Judges count on CASA volunteers to keep them updated so they can make the best possible decisions for the child's physical and emotional well-being. CASA volunteers are one constant figure for the child, but they're not the only ones. CASAs never work alone. When you become a CASA, you'll work with a CASA staff member who will advise and support you through the entire process. You'll work with caseworkers, attorneys, and others to engage committed adults who will support the child and family. These adults can include members of a child's family of origin, foster family, teachers, faith communities, coaches, and friends. Together, they create a strong support network for the child and family. This support system helps develop a plan and set goals for the child and family going forward. Ideally, the plan will involve reunification with the child's parent or parents when safe and possible. When that's not the case, you may recommend that the child live with another relative or close family friend. Other possibilities may include searching for a loving adoptive home or preparing the child for adult living on their own. Regardless of the outcome, you'll keep in contact with the support network you've helped create until the case closes, so that everyone continues to put the best interests of the child first. If this support group stays committed, the child will have strong, stable adults who they can rely on for years to come. This leads to a greater sense of safety, happiness, and stability, better performance in school, and stronger peer relationships. There are thousands of children in foster care throughout Texas. By becoming a CASA volunteer, you can make sure they are safe and supported. Because every child has a chance. It's you. Find out more about how you can help by visiting becomeacasa.org.
So with us here is one of our CASA advocates to talk about what it is to be an advocate and share with us a little bit about his experience. Jose Muñiz, he's the Director of Career Services at TSTC, and he's been a CASA since July of 2019. 19. Thanks for joining us, Jose. Tell us a little bit about how you decided to become a CASA and then what your experience has been like.
Yeah, for sure. The reason why I wanted to become a CASA was because growing up as a kid, I was in the CPS system, never really had a CASA, but growing up in the CPS system, if I were to have a CASA, I feel like it would have made a bigger difference. So just giving that voice to these children and letting them know, just because you're going through the system, because you come from a faulty family doesn't mean that your future's unwritten, that you still have that power.
Yeah. And what has it been like for you? Tell us a little bit about what being an advocate is like.
Yeah, it's been great to share my story. I get to talk to these children that are young and they don't realize what's going on. They have to deal with guardian ad litem, attorney ad litem, judges, all these adults who don't necessarily know what it means to deal with these adults. So just being able to be that outlet for them and be able to be that escape for them is really rewarding.
And for somebody who's interested in volunteering or being an advocate, what would you say to them about what that's like and what they could expect?
It's definitely fun and rewarding, as I mentioned. You get to deal with kids that, again, you're just that outlet for them. You get to take them out. You get to have fun with them and let them be a child, because, again, they're dealing with all these authority figures and they may not know what's going on, and being that outlet for them and letting them have that childhood that they're missing out on, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. The need in McLennan County is great for CASAs. We have around 800 kids on any given day that are in the foster care system in our community. Out of those kids, CASA is able to serve 240 of those kids. So you can see that we have a great need for more volunteers like Jose to dedicate their time and energy to caring for these kids who are in a very vulnerable time and a very difficult time in their life. We provide a consistent presence for children and families that are in the foster care system. And we are of and for the community. Without volunteers like Jose, we literally could not do anything that we do. It is really built on the volunteers that serve and spend their time on behalf of these children. So you can go to casaforeverychild.org and find out more information on how to become a volunteer, and send us an email, contact us, and we would love to have you and talk to you more about becoming a CASA.
Next, we have a special guest. Kelly Palmer is here with us. She was recently elected to our Waco City Council for District 4 last November. And so we're so grateful for her presence here today with us. Kelly is a licensed social worker and teaches at the Baylor School of Social Work, and is a valuable member of our community. So thank you for being here. And why don't you tell us a little bit of why you wanted to pursue City Council and some of your other endeavors.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so honored to be here. CASA is an incredible organization, not only for our county and for our city, but for District 4. And I've really enjoyed getting to know you and Lucas the past couple of months and see this important work you're doing. I decided to run for City Council because I really wanted to see our most vulnerable residents being advocated for and being supported, and that is absolutely the work that y'all are doing.
We're so grateful for your service to our city. And Kelly came and visited our offices a few weeks ago and got to know our leadership and toured our facility, and we're grateful for her involvement in the city and her energy for building a partnership with CASA and other nonprofits here in the city to really build up our community. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. And for those of y'all that are watching, I just can't endorse the great work that CASA is doing enough. One of my favorite advocates talks about there's no such thing as other people's children. These are our kids. And so whether you are donating or volunteering or sharing this on social media, this is a way for us to take care of our kids and be their voice and support them in the midst of a really hard period.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks.
We're having a fun night so far with our Crawfish for CASA virtual gathering, and we've got the official mud bugs have made their appearance. Now, if you didn't know, Lauren, you're Texan, but you've spent the last several years in Louisiana, so she's our official crawfish expert.
Yeah, I was there for about 10 years in Baton Rouge, and shout out to all of the amazing CASA volunteers there too. They do great work. And Lucas, I hear you have never had crawfish.
Never. I've never eaten crawfish. I'm a little intimidated right now. I'm a little scared, actually. So
I'm intimidated to teach a lesson. I just kind of do it, but we're going to do this together. Is there a reason why you haven't had it, or you just haven't had the opportunity?
I mean, I enjoy seafood, I guess, but yeah, for some reason it's never come up. I've avoided lobster and crab too, just because it seems like a lot of work.
These are a lot of work for very little amount of food,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you can get some potatoes and corn in there too sometimes. You need a big one. That one looks
Okay,
big.
this guy right here?
Yeah, and you're
Okay.
just going to pinch it in the middle. Yeah, that is a big one. Look
Wait,
at the
pinch
claw
it in the middle?
In the middle, like right where
Okay.
his tail starts, and
Oh.
try and pinch the meat out of the tail.
What, like that?
Yeah, that's where the meat is in the tail.
Like, just pull. I'm destroying this thing.
Yeah, you're getting some of it. You
The
just
world
break
of
it
social
apart.
distancing. Don't eat that part, Lucas. Please do not eat that part.
See how I did it right there, and then all the
ta-
meat is right there.
Oh, you just want to get the tail
Yes,
off?
Just wanna get the
Okay.
tail.
You waste
See,
a
I
whole
did- I
lot.
just took
Dude,
the
don't eat that
head.
part.
Some people
And-
like the juice
okay,
in the head, but
well,
that's another story. So
yeah.
let's try another
Okay,
one.
I'm gonna see if I can just get the tail.
Okay.
Okay.
So Lucas, this is going to be the video that
just the
plays.
tail.
Just
Cost-
the tail,
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
And then once you
Boom.
get
You're only
it-
halfway there.
Yeah,
Okay.
now you have to get all of the shell
Now
off
you gotta
of the
get
tail
shell off. Okay. Oh man.
and pull
Gosh,
the
this is a
meat
lot.
out.
Oh, okay. Here we go. It's starting to look like something you might see in the store now.
Yeah.
Instead of a spider.
There you
or
go,
an
Lucas.
alien thing.
Cheers.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I did it.
You did it. Your first crawfish.
Now you only need to do it about 40 more times to have a belly full
Yeah.
of crawfish. So.
I do feel honored that I got to be a part of that with you.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the first one. I feel. Poor
Yeah,
guy.
it happens.
But-
It totally happens.
So
But,
what's
fun.
cool is, typically on a normal year, we'd all be eating all this crawfish, enjoying some live music and everything. But this year you can virtually do this and support some area restaurants. So do want to mention there's, you got Walk-On's Bistro, Oakley's Texas Bar and Grill, Oakley's Rustic Grill, and Oakley's Shuckin' Shack. All of those, if you go in today, April 16th, and mention CASA, they're going to put a portion of the proceeds to go to support CASA of McLennan County. So
Walk-On's has some Louisiana-inspired dishes
Yes,
over there too, so maybe you can get some boudin or crawfish over
yeah,
there.
so if you need to from now on, you find Lucas, he can teach you kind
He's
of.
a pro.
Yes. So just takes a few hundred times and you got it down. So, but yeah, so that's really cool. So you got your adopted Cajun teaching you how to do it.
I like it. And hey, keep that in mind throughout the rest of the evening. Of course, all of those restaurants Brady mentioned. And don't forget about that iPad.
Yes. Yeah. So really cool. So we've got a drawing going on. So there's a couple different ways that you can get entered in the drawing. And again, it goes through midnight tonight and I want to mention April 16th because there may be folks watching this recorded later. You got till midnight tonight. So you can go to one of the participating restaurants, post on social media with the hashtag Crawfish for CASA, or make a donation to CASA tonight. So those are the couple ways to kind of get you into that iPad drawing.
Yeah, we really want to thank our big donors, Jim and Cindy Holmes. Thank you so much. Jessica Garrity, Doug and Lacey McNamee. I think I said their last name right. Okay, I want to make sure I'm getting these right.
Yeah, we got Sylvia Edwards-Borns, Casey Jacoby, and Deshauna Holly and Rodney Clark. So that's just a few of the individuals. So, we always talk about the great businesses just like TFNB, your Bank for Life, that are being huge sponsors for this, but each individual donation does a great amount to this great organization.
I love your little friend here.
I know.
Does he have a name?
No, but he doesn't smell as bad as y'all's do. So he's my little mascot over here.
Yes, and don't forget about the online auction all evening long. We want you to be a part of that and share the news with your friends on what is available. Anna, there's some really awesome things that you can bid on here.
You're right. We've got some awesome items in our online auction. I want to highlight just a few of them for y'all this evening. We have a 5-night stay at Sea Dreams House in Belize. We have a 2-night stay for $10 at a ranch house in McGregor. And we have a generator in our auction. So that hopefully is of interest after Snowmageddon a couple months ago, or Snowvid, I've heard it called. We also have a Fredericksburg stay and wine experience. We've got William Chris wines that are available with that package. And so we really just hope that y'all will tune into our online auction through Sunday night and check out these items along with many, many others.
The cool thing with the virtual now is the husbands or wives that are worried that your significant other is going to get mad that you're bidding, you can do it without them ever seeing you do it now. So yes,
You didn't get that from Brady.
yeah. So my wife was she was like, oh, it's all. She goes, but I can still bid on the auctions, right? And I'm like, yes, you are still completely allowed to. So So that's a cool thing going on. Again, CASAforeverychild.org is where you can go to bid. And again, also donations help out the cause as well. So
and that's through 5 p.m. on the 18th.
Yes, so
that you
through
can continue
Sunday.
doing
Yeah,
that.
so the bidding goes on. So check back, try to see if you make sure you can beat everybody to win some of those. You got some really cool things there that you can bid on right there at CASAforeverychild.org.
You know, Brady, I was really proud to be a part of Kappa Alpha Theta, the sorority, not at Baylor, unfortunately, for this cause, but right down the road at Oklahoma. And they did a lot of great work, and they do nationwide with CASA. So all of the events, the fundraisers, that's how I was introduced to CASA. And it's very special to my heart, the walks, the pancake dinners, and all of the donation drives. There's so much work done here locally at Baylor, too. And I know that y'all do a lot of work with Kappa Alpha Theta.
Yes, Theta at Baylor partners so well with us. They're such a good support system. These young ladies, they work very hard both to support CASA financially and then in other ways as well. These young women raised $51,000 for us in 2019, and then last fall during a pandemic year raised $26,000 for our CASA program via their 5K and their concert. And so, and they had to do it all virtually like we're doing here tonight. And so we're so grateful. They've also partnered with us in many hands-on ways for the kids and youth that we serve. They have donated teddy bears and created blankets for these youth. They have made birthday boxes and written cards to the kids that we serve. And the Thetas also helped us move to our new facility here. When we moved in fall of 2019, we paid some movers for the heavy lifting, but then Theta members moved the rest of our whole office in 1 hour. And so got us over here and settled in and then helped us with some of that as well. And so we're just so grateful for the Thetas. And it's also an honor because our involvement with these young women is planting some seeds. We're educating them about CASA and about foster care and really making sure they kind of understand the work that we do and the mission of CASA. And so we've seen several Thetas graduate from Baylor, maybe move elsewhere, and then become CASA advocates themselves. And so that is just awesome to see that they continue that involvement even past their time at Baylor.
You talk about this new building too. We were having a conversation earlier about the importance of having a comfortable space for the children. You mentioned a pandemic and a lot of things in the court system have been put on hold, but your work has not been put on hold. So that's
correct.
Really important that you have this comfortable space, right?
Yes, that's correct. Our advocacy looks a little different these days due to COVID. We've had to kind of get creative with some virtual options, but we absolutely have not stopped our advocacy and our work for children.
That's awesome. I want to show you a video about the Thetas here at Baylor that kind of shows some of their stuff that they've done.
To Kappa Alpha Theta, Court-Appointed Special Advocates is a very special organization.
There are plenty of Thetas that don't know what CASA is until they come into our chapter room during recruitment. And what's super cool is that many of them end up becoming a CASA and volunteering themselves and taking that after graduation and throughout the rest of their lives, advocating for kids no matter where they are and where they end up.
My name is Sonia Cooper, and I'm a staff supervisor with CASA of McLennan County. My main role here is to support, educate, and coach the volunteers that we have in the work that they do. And we couldn't do any of what we do without our volunteers. We appreciate them more than I can say. We also greatly appreciate Theta. They always have our back, and we hope that you think Theta like we do.
To any Theta, seeing how CASA leaves lasting impressions on children in the foster care system is one of the most rewarding things as a member.
Last year I had the opportunity to serve on Baylor Theta's CASA 5K team. We raised the most money we have ever raised, totaling over $51,000. We got to see firsthand what CASA did with this money. They helped support their advocates and help support their kids even more. It's amazing to see the efforts of our labor go directly into McLennan County. We are so lucky to serve such a great philanthropy, and we're honored to be partners with them.
By supporting CASA, you can join in on making such lasting impacts on the children within the CASA community. Please consider supporting your local CASA today.
Well, our fun night continues here for Crawfish for CASA. Again, big thanks to our presenting sponsor, TFNB, your bank for life. And we're getting closer and closer, probably about halfway now to our big goal of $50,000 that we're hoping to raise through this virtual event tonight.
So don't forget to donate. And if you're watching this and inspired to be a volunteer, reach out. They could certainly use your help here at CASA, especially as we get back to some kind of normalcy and can get more out in the community together. It's a really great thing. So CASAforeverychild.org is where you can learn more about those opportunities. That's CASAforeverychild.org.
You know, and I just mentioned the presenting sponsor, but can't say it enough to David Littlewood and the folks at TFNB, your bank for life, for their amazing support of CASA. So again, thanks to them for being the presenting sponsor for tonight's virtual event.
We have 3 Louisiana legacy sponsors. Those would be Magnolia, thank you so much, Ann and Jay Campbell, and Central National Bank.
And our courageous crawdads, after watching Lucas tear one up into smithereens over here, poor little crawdad. I do want to thank those sponsors. We've got American Bank, Dupuy Oxygen. We've got First National Bank of Central Texas, Baylor University, Naaman Howe, Smith and Lee.
Bird Culch and Ford, Community Bank and Trust, H&B Packing, JRBT, Home State County Mutual, Square Roofing, Martinez and Martinez, Atmos Energy, Carlson Law Firm, Sally and Johnny Bledsoe, and Highland Baptist Church.
And we also want to jump in here and really say a big thank you to KWTX. We're so grateful to you, Brady and Lauren, for being here. And KWTX has been a longtime media sponsor for CASA, and we're so grateful for your support.
Oh, we're great to be here. I think ever since we've started these, and even before when we did the superhero races, we've been lucky to be involved. So great organization, great cause, and great things we're doing for the community.
Thank you so much.
We also have to give a shout out to our production partner, Waco Social. As we've mentioned a few times, this is not the way we've normally done Crawfish, and there is no way we could have done this without the help and the partnership with Waco Social, and so we really want to say a special thank you to them.
And we've also heard from the mayor of Waco. We have Dylan Meek, who sent us in a terrific video. He was elected in 2020, began his career in 2010 after graduating from Baylor Law. First went to work as an associate attorney at Haley Olson, which is a full-service civil law firm, and in 2013 worked for an investment company. He serves as general counsel and EVP of development for First Title Company of Waco. Currently serves on 5 boards, so he's very involved in the community.
Busy man.
And was excited to be a part of this event tonight. So Waco's Mayor Dylan Meek.
Hi, my name is Dylan Meek. I'm the mayor of Waco, and it's my privilege to be a part of this live stream event with you this evening. The investment that CASA makes in the lives of our kids matters for their lives today, and it matters for their lives in the future. In this very critical moment, it helps put them on a trajectory for a brighter future, a more promising future, and allows Waco to be a stronger, better community. And it allows these children's lives to be better and stronger as well. And it's for that reason that we're so thankful for an organization who cares deeply about not only kids where they are right now, but our future generations as well. CASA is a volunteer model organization. In order to do what we do well, we need volunteers. In order to reach our community goals of touching the lives of children, we need CASAs. We need you to sign up and be volunteers. So go to our website right now, email leadership, find out about how you can be a volunteer for CASA. We need you. And by doing this, by putting your time into this, you are touching the lives of children and you are ensuring that their trajectory is put on a better, stronger path. So today our goal is $50,000. And I'm so thankful that we have some corporate sponsors who have already generously given us some funds and put us well on our way to reaching that goal. But it's going to take you stepping up right now and giving a little bit of money and getting us over the finish line to make sure that this organization can do what it does best, which is touch the lives of children, meet them where they are in a tough moment, and ensure that the future generations of this city have an advocate when they need one the most. So when the need is great, what do we do in Waco? We respond. The culture of Waco is to meet a need head on. And because our data and our numbers indicate that the number of children in the foster care system in this county is significant, there is a need, and you have an opportunity to help us meet that. So just as a reminder again, give, help us get that $50,000 goal, and volunteer with us so that we can be responding to the need that we have here in our community.
Well, thank you to Mayor Meek again for that great video. And, we've been talking a lot about the court-appointed special advocates, McLennan County CASA. And Lucas, how can people get involved or support CASA?
Yeah, I always like to say you can advocate, nominate, or donate. Those are great ways to get involved. So, of course, we've talked a lot about our CASA advocates, and you can volunteer and contact us to become an advocate. You can also nominate someone. So if you know somebody who would make a great CASA, please reach out to us and let us know, and we'll get in touch with them. And you can nominate them through our website by sending us a message. You can also go to nominateacasa.org and then donate. I mean, it costs money to manage all of the volunteers. We have a staff of 7 supervisors that are working with our volunteers. And so the more volunteers we have to fill the need, the more money we need to be able to manage all of those volunteers. And so you can also donate and help get us to that $50,000 goal tonight.
Lucas, I have a question. I know that you want all the volunteers that you could possibly take in, but is there a specific type of volunteer that you're really missing right now that would really help you guys as far as young people, people who can relate to the kids?
The great thing is our CASA volunteers come from all walks of life. We have a really diverse group of volunteers, and we're always looking for more diversity in our volunteers. We need CASAs who speak Spanish because we have families involved in cases who don't speak very much English, and we need to be able to communicate and work with them. Really, a CASA can come from anywhere. So we have graduate students, we have retirees, we have professionals that are working full-time. There are all kinds of people that are volunteering and being CASAs, and so don't imagine that there's a barrier to you to being a CASA, because it really is something that anybody can do.
And the nominates, I got a funny story on that. So how I got involved with CASA McLennan County, my grandmother was an executive director. She nominated me to be on the board and told the former executive director, Brady can be on the board with you. And that's how I started. And I was like, can't tell your grandmother no after she said that.
You got voluntold.
Yes, I did. And I've been involved with CASA ever since, and glad to be. It was just one of those, I didn't think about it, and then find somebody, that may, because there's a lot of time involved with being an advocate, but, there's people that that they'd be a great for that. And again, if you want more information, casaforeverychild.org is where you can go, again, to donate to help, or if you want to nominate somebody, or just get more information about what court-appointed special advocates do, because it's a great thing that they're doing, being a voice for those kids in need in some of the scariest times in their life. And, right now, normally it's in the courts, but through Zoom, it's probably even harder for these kids to figure out what's going on. So again, those advocates are a great resource.
And if you don't have the time, again, you can donate, and that's what tonight is all about as well. We are having a drawing for that iPad we don't want you to forget about, and if you donate by midnight, the night of April 16th, the night that this is airing for you, you are entered for that drawing. You can also eat at participating restaurants and post on social media using that hashtag. It is hashtag Crawfish for CASA.
Now, one cool thing with CASA is the new building we're coming to you from right now. Now, you're only seeing a small part of it, but Anna, we walked around a little earlier. This thing is amazing. So let's give everybody a little virtual tour of y'all's new building.
I'm happy to tell you about it. Back in about 2017, 2018, CASA leadership decided that we needed to build a foundation for a permanent facility for our program, a forever home, so to speak. That's a phrase used in the foster care realm sometimes. And so leadership sought to purchase and renovate a facility. So we are sitting in a former church building, and it was the Mount Zion Methodist Church, and the building was built in the 70s, but the congregation dates back to the late 1800s. And there's actually a historical marker out front on our property that honors that congregation. And they merged with another congregation and exited this building, but we were honored to take it on and really just bring it to life. And so we had an extensive renovation across 2019 and moved here in the fall of 2019. And so this facility serves many purposes for our program. It's a home base for offices for our staff, of course, course, but we've got various areas that are really geared towards our volunteers and the children we serve and the professionals that we work alongside as well. Our advocacy wing provides really good space for our advocate supervisors to meet with our volunteers and support them and coach them. We've got a great training room that we're sitting in right now. That's where prior to COVID at least, we provide great training to our volunteers. We've got a children's suite that is a comfortable, friendly room where kids can come and meet with their CASA or their attorney or their CPS caseworker. And we've got our administrative wing as well that's where our administrative staff offices. And so our hope for this facility was to really provide a neutral and comfortable space where we could collaborate with partner professionals. And so prior to COVID, we were hosting collaborative family engagement meetings, family group conferences, case staffing meetings, alongside attorneys and CPS caseworkers and CASA advocates, and at times the children themselves were present. And so it just became a really good neutral spot where our group of professionals that we work alongside could come together for the sake of these children. And so that looks a little different during COVID, of course, but this facility will be here for years to come, and we will get back to that collaboration. And this project wouldn't have been possible without many, many donors and grant funders. And so we're so grateful that our community really rallied around this Forever Home project and made this a reality for our program.
That is awesome. So a beautiful building, but like you were saying, it's all for a cause. Can you tell us about, the story of maybe one of the kids that have made it, one of your CASA kids that have went through the program?
Yes, we have a very, very special video for y'all. Maylin was in foster care in 2015, and her CASA advocate, Lisa Chanot, was one of our advocates. And Maylin and her sister have kept in contact with their advocate, Lisa. And so we were really honored to capture a conversation between Maylin and Lisa, her advocate. And Maylin is a wonderful young woman and very eager to tell her story.
My sister and I, we were both removed from our former mom. And so we were removed from our mom's custody, and due to harsh living conditions and physical and emotional abuse. Reuniting with our former mom, it was looking like that would not be the case. We changed directions and started to consider my aunt and uncle, who lived also in Waco at the time, for adoption. That was successfully done, and they adopted us a little bit after that. And since then, me and my sister have been with them, and it's been, I guess, almost 5 years, I think, since that adoption.
I remember just telling Maylin and her sister that I didn't have the answers, but I was going to be the consistent person in their lives while they were in this foster system, that they changed homes, as Maylin said, probably about they had 4 or 5 different placements. CPS caseworkers changed. There's a lot of change, but I really wanted to assure them of 2 things. One, that I was going to be consistent, and that this situation was of no fault of theirs. Those are the 2 things I could promise them.
I think what was most impactful was that she was always available to us. At really any moment's notice, I could talk to her about anything, and that the fact that she would drive 1.5 hours or 2 hours to come see us frequently it meant a lot then, but it means a lot more now that she did that and took time away from her job and her family to come see us and to make sure we were taken care of, and to emphasize our value and our potential, and to give us a sense of security and a sense of, like you said, consistency.
And I will say, I tell people all the time, and I think to myself, when I have something hard, Maylin, or something difficult, I think you're an inspiration to me and to many people of what you overcame so beautifully, and as I said, so graciously.
Graduated from high school, and I think I chose to come up here to Dallas to go to school, and 3 years later, I'm still here. I major and I study biology, pre-medicine, so I want to be able to go to medical school. In the near future, I know that I have a passion for just caring for others, and that I think in every aspect, not just medicine, that I care for others and I want to help. And I want to be able to, like Lisa said, inspire them and give them hope as I was given hope when I was in foster care. Yes, I went through this like tragic experience. Everybody that I had around me, like Lisa, like CASA, my social workers, my mentor, like even like the foster parents, everybody saw so much potential and so much greatness, and that I think just motivated me in order to do that to others.
Well, this amazing night, our virtual event for Crawfish for CASA continues, and the face of CASA here in McLennan County, Anna Futrell, the executive director. If y'all haven't met Anna, what brought you to this position here at CASA?
Well, I've been at CASA for about 4 years. May will be 4 years. And before that, I was in accounting. So that's definitely a switch. But what pulled me to CASA and to seek out this role is kind of my own personal story with my family. My husband and I were foster parents across 2014 and 15, and then ended up adopting our 3 kids in 2016. And so their biological siblings are now ages 6, 7, and 8. So we kind of felt called to foster care, honestly. My husband is adopted, so is his sister. And so that just kind of fell into our conversations and felt like something we really needed to do. And so now we are an adoptive family, and that personal story there just kind of pulled me into this realm in general, and then pulled me to this CASA position. And so it's been a big adventure, lots to learn and lots of changes over the last few years, but I'm loving it.
So you gave us the tour of the building, and that kind of, so what kind of trends and growth and everything have you all seen and changes since you've started as executive director?
We've had an exciting few years of growth and improvements to the quality of our advocacy. When I came on, we were serving about 90 kids with about 30 advocates, and now we're serving nearly 250 kids with about 100 advocates. So just kind of the visibility has improved, and our community is rallying around us in that growth, and it's just been a very exciting time.
So everything, you've just moved into the building, everything moving, we're sitting here in your training room. How much has stuff changed for CASA with the impacts of COVID?
Yeah, we had to change a bunch of our procedures for safety, of course. Our staff kind of went remote, and our whole scene with CPS, attorneys, the court, all pivoted well and together to virtual. And so, some court cases out there with juries and criminal court cases are on hold, but these cases for children in foster care have continued. We are having hearings on Zoom. That did not stop, but for maybe 1 week last spring. So that's been great that we have not put these kids' lives on hold, even due to COVID. And so our advocates have gotten creative with virtual ways to remain connected to the kids, and that's opening up some more now. Of course, but our advocacy hasn't stopped. It looks different, but we are still going and still growing.
Yes, and you speak of the growth, you were talking about the numbers of how many more advocates you have and how many more kids you can serve, but unfortunately the need always seems to outnumber the amount of volunteers you have. What would people need to know about being a CASA volunteer?
Yeah. The need is great. There are many, many kids in care in McLennan County, around 800 these days. And so you can see there's a gap there in how many don't have a CASA. And so we really need dedicated individuals. As Lucas said earlier, you need to complete our training and be over age 21 and meet a few of those requirements. But we have volunteers from all walks of life that if you have some time to give and really want to have a focused and important role in a child's life, then this is a very good volunteer opportunity.
Now, the advocates, the volunteers are amazing. Now, there may be some people sitting at home saying, I just don't have that much free time, or I just don't know if that's what is for me. What's other ways that people could help out CASA?
Yeah, we need advocates, like I said, but it's not for everybody, or maybe not right now. And so if you think that that's the case for you, then we respect that, of course. But who do you know in your life that you think might be a good advocate? Talk to them or come learn about CASA with us, and then share that message with others in your own life that could maybe come join our volunteer team. And then you can, of course, support us financially, which we're working on here tonight. The donations go directly to our advocacy programs and support for our volunteers.
And you brought up one point, you said right now. There's a lot of people that become advocates that never thought it was something they could do. I think it's something that a lot of people have the ability to do, and once you dive into it,
yes,
you're helping a child one-on-one. But that's something that, even if you don't know, contact y'all, figure out the process and learn about it, because like I said, each one, you're helping one kid at a time getting through a major situation.
We operate in a somewhat complicated realm. We're honest about that. Foster care is somewhat complex, and that can make people a little nervous about jumping in. But keep in mind that once you're an advocate, you're matched with a full-time staff member that's a social worker. They are there to support and coach and guide our advocates all along the way. And so you're not just thrown into this kind of complex system by yourself. You have very, very good support from our team.
Yeah, and just being that, like I said, advocate for a kid,
Yes.
being that, I grew up around it as a kid. My grandmother was an executive director, and just seeing the look at some of the kids as they saw their advocate and knowing that they've got somebody there to help them be that support. It's a great thing. And again, everything everyone's doing tonight and throughout the year to support this organization, a great cause. So thank you, Anna, for all you're doing.
Another one of our fabulous community members that we have visiting us tonight is Hector Sabido. Hector is the City of Waco's Mayor Pro Tem. He's also the General Sales Manager for Prophecy Media Group, and was elected City Council for District 2 on May 14th, 2019, and he's a Baylor grad.
Correct. Thank you for having me here, Lucas. It is an honor to be here. I want to commend CASA and all the wonderful work that you do, not only in our city, but our community all around. And so it's truly an honor to help you guys tonight.
Yeah. We mentioned earlier that part of the need that we have is for volunteers, but not just any volunteers. We also really need diverse volunteers. Unfortunately, the reality is that kids of color are disproportionately in foster care, disproportionate to their percentage in the population. And so we want to have volunteers that look like the kids that we serve. It makes them feel good about themselves, and that's really, really important to us. Tell me a little bit, in your experience about the importance of diversity in Waco.
I think the diversity that city brings is very important. I think we have a long history that makes us unique and individual on its own. But also I think in CASA's case, where you have someone that looks like you, that speaks the language that you do, it's very important. It makes you feel more comfortable. It makes you feel more at ease and more at home. And so I would love to encourage anyone who is bilingual that speaks Spanish to come and volunteer for CASA. I think it's very important that our organizations and our businesses reflect the community that we live in and that we represent. And so CASA is just one of those other entities where the bilingual program and services are needed.
Yeah. And you mentioned Spanish speakers. So para los que hablan español, quizás podemos explicar un poquito en español qué es CASA y cómo ellos pueden participar.
Claro que sí. Mire, CASA es una organización que ayuda a niños que no tienen casa ahorita en la ciudad de Waco, en el condado de McLennan, y queremos ayudarlos en sus diferentes etapas de su vida. Así que le quiero aconsejar a usted, si usted es un adulto y habla español y tiene en su corazón para ayudar a un niño mientras que crezca y que ayudarlos durante las diferentes etapas de su vida, le aconsejo que hable aquí a casa o que venga a dar sus servicios de voluntario, porque sí se necesitan realmente.
Yeah. Y damos muchas gracias a todos que apoyan CASA de comunidad hispano en Ciudad de Waco. Y gracias. Y ustedes pueden donar, participar esta noche en todo lo que estamos haciendo en el sitio de web casaforeverychild.org. Pues leer más en qué hacemos.
Y una vez más, muchas gracias por tenerme aquí. Le aconsejamos de veras que venga a dar una causa que es buena aquí en la ciudad de Waco y en el condado de McLennan. Ayudan a todos los niños, no importa qué color sean, pero también se necesita voluntarios que hablan español. Así que le aconsejamos que venga a dar sus servicios.
Hector, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Lucas, for having me. It's truly an honor, and I've had a blast tonight, so thank you.
We're continuing this great evening of crawfish for CASA, and you saw our crawfish just for Lucas ate them all. And all we got left is a stuffed one. So if you see Lucas around, he can teach you somewhat how to deshell a crawfish. But again, great night tonight, and you can follow along with the CASA of McLennan County on social media. If you go at CASA McLennan on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So any types of social media you're on, you can get all that great info about the great cause that is CASA of McLennan County.
And you can find out in those spots how to enter for the drawing for an iPad. That is a big deal tonight. You can enter for that drawing by midnight tonight. That is April 16th. If you're watching this video later, you've already missed it, sorry. Tonight, midnight, April 16th. You can also eat at all of the participating restaurants that have helped out this great cause, and use the hashtag crawfish for CASA. Post on social media, spread the word. That's how more people get involved. That's how more people donate. So we really appreciate it.
Yes, and we've had great guests through the night and videos and stuff like that. And we got one more for you. Now, you can't live anywhere in the world and not know the Magnolia brand and everything that has been and all the great things in Central Texas. But Clint Harp has been part of that. And Clint's one of those guys that's done 5 million things, it seems like. He's a go-getter for sure. But he's a carpenter, business owner, TV personality, author, speaker, the list goes on and on. But he's also hosts his own show now on the Magnolia Network, Restoration Road with Clint Harp. So a busy man.
You know, when Chip and Joanna meet you, you're already launching your next project. Yeah. And I remember seeing Chip on the first season. He ended up being on all 5 seasons of that show.
Yes,
now
yeah, Clint's been busy with all that.
His own gig. And of course, his wife is right by his side, helping him out, making sure that everything's running smoothly. She has handmade home goods at Harp Design Co., Kelly. And she has done a lot of work in the community and worked alongside Clint to make a difference. We're thrilled that they're involved with Crawfish for CASA.
Hi everyone, we're Kelly and Clint Harp, and we're so happy to be here with you guys. It's been so encouraging to hear these stories about all the support for CASA.
Thank you everybody for all the support. Keep the donations coming in, because this is such an important work that's happening here in McLennan County with CASA. And as you've heard from all the stories, you see what a deep impact CASA is making.
So we're really new to this whole CASA journey and really understanding what CASA really does for kiddos. We have friends, the Carneys, that foster kids, and that's really helped us understand this whole system. And we can't do that. But what we can do is help out CASA in a myriad of different ways.
Volunteering with CASA is such a great way for our community to support all of these foster parents and foster children.
We are so close to the goal. Our goal was $50,000 to raise for CASA, and we are so close.
Thank you to all of the donors, individual donors, the corporate donors who have continued to give not only their time, but their money. And we do need your money, for sure.
We do.
And we're not ashamed to ask for it, because these kids are worth it. They're absolutely worth it. And the way that CASA comes alongside these families and advocates for them and for these children is something that you can't put a price tag on. Every penny counts, and every dollar matters.
One of our very favorite things about living here in Waco and in McLennan County is that we take care of our own and we show up for each other.
So if you would like to continue to help CASA of McLennan County, please go to www.casaforeverychild.org. And there you can learn about your volunteering options, more about what CASA does and the everyday lives and advocacy for these children. You can also continue to donate. You don't have to donate just tonight. You can set up monthly donations. Whatever it is that you want to do, however you want to help, you can find out how to help CASA of McLennan County at the website, which is on the screen now, at www.casaforeverychild.org. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
And thanks, Clint Harp, for all his support, and again, for everybody that's been so supportive of this great night that we've had here for this Crawfish for CASA. Again, a little different this year, but we're having a lot of fun. We hope you are as well, and we really appreciate you watching.
We had all the crawfish, we had all the familiar faces, we still had a lot of the elements that make this event so much fun. So we want to make sure that we thank the CASA board, the staff, all of the volunteers. I mean, they're just amazing people, and their heart for this cause is tremendous.
Yeah, and we want to thank all the donors and auction donors as well. So we've got those great auctions. You've still got time, and we also got the drawing as well. So if you make a donation, you've got through midnight tonight that this is airing, that you can go on, make the donation, get in for the iPad that's going to be the drawing. So again, help out this great cause. There's many different ways that you can do that.
And that is all on CASAforeverychild.org. Again, that is CASAforeverychild.org. Of course, they're all over social media too, spreading this very important message that our community needs help. They need volunteers and they need donations for CASA.
And we appreciate the community, and we know that we get to gather for Crawfish normally, and so we're really looking forward to hopefully in April of 2022 that we will get to see you all in person at a Crawfish for CASA event.
Thank you everyone for watching. Good night.